Hello, everyone. This is my presentation on the Institute for Racial Equity and Excellence. A little bit about me. I grew up in Denver, Colorado, born and raised here. So my parents, native from Denver, Colorado. And I grew up in a pretty white neighborhood. I grew up right on the Wellshire Golf Course. I don't know if you can see those houses on the side, but in one of those houses on along one of the holes. I went to predominantly white schools. I went up into high school. My elementary school was very white. My middle school was also predominantly white. And then I went to South High School, which is a very, very diverse school. And that was my first real experience, like putting myself in other people's shoes and kind of seeing how hard like other races have it other than me. Um, and it was like super powerful to just be there and kind of see, definitely there's discrimination that I saw in my school, like other people would discriminate against races. So that was my first kind of wake up call. And then, moving out of my house for college, I moved to Federal Boulevard, which is not the best neighborhood in Denver. And although it's closer to Sea Denver than my house, so that's why I moved. But um, then I really saw, I see children walking home from school. Sometimes they don't have shoes on, and you know, and that was when I really wanted to take it upon myself to research a charity that helps people like this. So I came across the Institute for Racial Equity and Excellence. And something that's really cool about this charity is that it's ran by two husband and wife, Dawn and Rosemary Allen, which I think is really cool. And they've both worked with kids most of their lives, which is really important. And their goals as a charity are mostly to partner with other charities and like supply them funding or supply them manpower or logistical help to get people on board to help these families and these different races, these in communities that don't have the resources to live a solid life. And they also are big on spreading awareness that this actually is happening, and there actually is racial discrimination in Colorado, even though you don't see it every day. There is, and it happens every single day. And a huge part of their charity is also helping provide resources for children and families to help get kids out of the elementary school to prison pipeline, which is when a child from a different race, when they start elementary school, they have more of a chance of ending up in prison before their life's over than another race. And their one of their main goals is to help stop that and help resurrect that. And so by providing services like education or access to technology or access to food or help for families that don't know where their child's next meal is coming from is super important for different communities around Denver. Latino communities, Black communities. We have these communities all around Denver and outside of Denver that aren't really getting the recognition or the voice that they need. And so for charities like this to come around is really, really important to me. And the more I looked into this charity, the more I realized that it relates to me because I want to go into real estate, and a huge part of real estate is gentrification, where usually minorities and other races are pushed outside of nice neighborhoods into worse neighborhoods, and the neighborhoods just get worse and worse and worse, and then you know businesses are forced out of neighborhoods that have been there for years, and it's really sad because then these children in these neighborhoods really don't have a way out, and their families can't really do anything. They lose their jobs in the neighborhoods that they're being pushed out of, so they have no way to help their children get out of the place that they're in. And so going to real estate, I really want to help this, and I want to make sure that I can do my part to stop gentrification and stop redlining. And you know I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I think it's super important. One way that I'm trying to help is by donating to this charity. And I just I feel really bad for these children who have to go through this and are growing up in this system that is so clearly flawed, but won't get the help they need without these charities. And so one thing you can do to help is donate to this charity. Go to their website, Institute for Racial Equity and Excellence, and just really help provide them with financial resources to partner with other charities and give other charities the resources, or help spread their message about what they do about for other races, and helping children and families in general, get out of the system that we're in currently. And that is my presentation. Thank you for listening.
Okay, so the first question I want to ask is, how was your own personal experience factored into when you chose this nonprofit, and your own personal opinions on this subject? Like, how did it affect you and your passion towards the subject?
I really felt, before I researched this charity that I was, well, you know, well educated in the topic of other races and what they go through. But the more that I researched charity, I knew that I wasn't. And so it's really helped me open my eyes to see what other families go through and how much help they actually need. And that, you know, racism is still so alive, even if it's not direct racism, like direct name calling or stuff like that. There's still so much discrimination that happens for these families. And it made me realize how important charities and anti-bigotism is. And one way I can do that is just by, continuing to donate and spread the message of positivity for all races, all people from all walks of life. Yeah, thank you for the question.
I was wondering, do you know like the definition for gentrification? I remember hearing it before, but
I don't know the exact definition. I can totally look it up for you, but yeah, I can look it up right now. Process whereby the character of a poor urban area is changed by wealthier people moving in, improving housing, attracting new businesses, typically displacing current inhabitants in the process. So just, meaning that the inhabitants that are currently in the neighborhood are, possibly going to be pushed out by wealthier people, having more money to buy their houses, and being forced to sell, and then then their businesses are forced to move. And it's a whole terrible system that, it seems like it's so hard to stop because, wealthy people don't care about other people, in my opinion, a lot of the time. And they just want to take over and get, the best real estate for them instead of caring about actual communities and how they're harming that community.
Thank you.
How do you think your pursuance on a real estate would affect your opinion and your involvement on gentrification in your community and other communities that you work at?
I honestly, before I started getting my real estate license, I didn't even know what gentrification was. And I didn't really even realize that so many people are pushed out of their neighborhoods that they've been in for years, and the neighborhoods that their families have been in for years. And when I started getting my license, I realized how much this happens. And all over downtown, people are being gentrified right now. And it's really sad. And destructive to the community. And so getting being interested in real estate and getting my license has really motivated me to get passionate about this issue and spread the message about the issue.
Now, what I really liked about your presentation was a backstory that you gave and how you didn't really, experience racism, and then you kind of saw it. There was like a lot of character development, I feel like, and that's why you chose that institute. Something I really liked, and probably lots of other people would like.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, man, you did a great job. I really liked your background info and your own personal link to this subject. It flowed really well, and it made it feel more personal.
Thank you so much.